Hey guys, welcome to my channel Infotech with Zafar Khan. Today I am going to discuss a new lecture of DevOps series, that is lecture number 8. In this lecture, we will discuss about the Jenkins, the most popular and widely used CI/CD tools. And the reason for this popularity is Jenkins is free, community driven, open source. This is a very important video for DevOps engineer because when you work as a DevOps engineer, you will use the Jenkins. Obviously, for automation process, you will use the Jenkins. It increases the scale automation and is quickly gaining popularity in DevOps circle. One of the key advantage of Jenkins is that it requires a little maintenance as well as built-in graphic user interface tool for easy update. So without any delay, let's start now. What is Jenkins? So Jenkins is an open source automation tool written in Java that can run on any platform like Windows operating system, Mac operating system, and Linux operating system. Open source is a term that originally referred to open source software. Open source software is a code that designed to be publicly accessible. Anyone can see, modify, and distribute the code. Now, Jenkins is a tool that multiple plugins built in for continuous integration. Automation tool means what is automation? Automation means technique that system operate automatically. So Jenkins is a tool, automation tool with multiple plugins built in for continuous integration. Plugins means what? For example, if you have a laptop, okay, there are number of ports are there to connect with your mouse, to connect with your keyboard, to connect with your headphone, like this. So those you plug in it first and then use it. So that is the plugin. So multiple plugins built in for continuous integration in Jenkins. It is a platform creating and continuous integration. So basically, it is a platform for creating a continuous integration and continuous delivery environment. So Jenkins is used to build and test your software project continuously, making it easier for developers to integrate the changes to the project and making it easier for users to obtain the fresh build. It also allows you to continuously deliver your software by integrating with a large number of testing and deployment technology. Jenkins helps to automate the entire software development lifecycle related to build, test, and deploy. Jenkins is a server-based system that runs in servlet containers like Apache Tomcat using port 8080. Remember it, it is an important thing that when you use the Jenkins, when you open the Jenkins in a browser, you have to use the port 8080 because Jenkins works with the port 8080. Okay, so Jenkins can run on any major platform without any compatibility issue. It can run on any major platform. There will be no compatibility issue for Jenkins. Now, what is compatibility? Compatibility means how well two things work together. When a couple like husband wife gets along well and enjoy spending time together, this is an example of compatibility. Or you can say when a printer works with your computer hardware, this is an example of compatibility. So Jenkins is compatible with any major platform. Okay. Now next one is with Jenkins, an organization can accelerate the software development process through automation. I am giving the practical example. Best and practical example I am giving you. When I joined the company, the deployment process was different as what currently we have. Earlier it was .ksh script, and before the executing this script, we have to stop all processes manually. So it takes almost 15 to 20 minutes per deployment. So now we have implemented the automation using Jenkins, and it completes the same deployment. Basically same deployment completes within a minute. Imagine how it is accelerated the process. So Jenkins is the most popular and widely used tool for an organization that can accelerate the software development process through automation. Jenkins integrates all kind of development lifecycle processes including build, test, deploy, static analysis, documentation, and much more. Jenkins achieved the continuous integration with the help of plugin. Plugin allow the integration of various DevOps stages. For example, if you want to integrate a particular tool like Git or Ansible, you need to install the plugin of that particular tool. Means you need to install the plugin of Git or Ansible if you want to integrate with that. Okay. Now next one is the continuous integration and their tools. What are the tools for continuous integration? Sometimes you can use the server as well instead of tool. So that's why I have marked as oblique server. Okay. So continuous integration is a process of integrating code changes from multiple developers in a single project. The software is tested immediately after the code commit. With each code commit, code is built and tested. And once the testing is completed and passed, the build is tested for deployment. And if the deployment is successful, then the code is pushed for the production. So this commit, build, test, and deploy is a continuous process, and hence the name continuous integration and continuous deployment. Some common continuous integration tools are, apart from Jenkins, there are Bamboos, Cruise Control, Team City, and others as well. However, Jenkins is the most popular, and the most important thing is I have already discussed, it is a free. While Bamboos, if you use the Bamboos, it will take charge. Okay, when you install it and when you use it, it will be take a charge for you. So uh, most of the company, big players you can say, using the Jenkins. Now what is CICD? CICD pipeline. A pipeline is a process that drives software development through a path of building, testing, and deploying code, also known as CICD. By automating the process, the objective is to minimize the human errors and maintain the consistent process for how software is released. CI/CD is a key component of DevOps strategy. Remember it. It's a key component for DevOps strategy. It allows you to shorten the development life cycle while maintaining quality by automating tasks like testing. So now there is some case study for continuous integration. So basically, this is a developer. Okay. So once the developer developed the multi-line code or a big code, and after multiple commits from the developer, it is a huge pain to isolate, identify, and fix the error in a large code. So this developer has written a very large code, and in case of some error occurs, so it is a very panic. It is very panic to isolate and identify and fix the error. So later on, they adopted a continuous integration approach so that that software was built and test as soon as the developer commit the code. So if any occur any error is detected or any error found, the respective developers can fix the quickly. So here the diagram, we'll understand about this diagram. What happened? The developer is commit over here and pushed into the GitHub. So GitHub is a web-based hosting service for software development project. So Jenkins is pulled that code and built trigger automatically, and in case of any error occur over here, it send the notification to developer. So this is the overall process of continuous integration approach. Okay, so whenever anything any issues or any bugs occurs, it will send the notification to developer. If it is error free, then it will go for the further process, means for the deployment process. Okay, so now sorry, now let's discuss about the Jenkins history. So there is a developer, Java developer, working. He was working on some microsystem and tried to build the code and fixing the error. So in 2004, created an automation server called automation server, which is called Hudson, that automates the build and test task. Okay, so sorry. However, in 2011, Oracle overtake the Sun microsystem and renamed as a Jenkins. So that means the previous name of Jenkins was Hudson, and after takeover by the Oracle, it's renamed as a Jenkins. So this is the history of Jenkins basically. Now we will discuss about the important features of Jenkins. So first we will discuss about the continuous integration and continuous delivery, CICD. The continuous integration is a software development practice where developers use the version control system and frequently integrate their work to the same location, such as main branch of Git. Each changes is built and verified to detect integration error as quickly as possible. So continuous integration is focused on automatically building and testing the code as compared to the continuous delivery, which automates the entire software release process up to the production. If automate automate your software development workflow and deploy better quality, it also helps to avoid bugs and code failure. And continuous delivery is a software development methodology. This need to be understood. Continuous integration is the practice, development practice, whereas continuous delivery is the software development methodology, where the release process is automated. Every software changes is automatically built, tested, and deployed to production. So before the final push to the production, a person, an, an automated test, or a business rule decides when the final push should occur. The next one is easy to install. Jenkins is a self-contained Java-based program. So before installing the Jenkins, you need to check whether the Java is available or not in your system. So before going to install even it is a very easy to install, but however, before going to install the Jenkins, you have to check in your system whether Java is available or not, because Jenkins is written as Java. So Java is required to install the Jenkins. Okay. So you can install the Jenkins in any operating system like Windows, Linux, Mac operating system, and other Unix like operating system as well. Okay. Now next one is easy to configuration. So Jenkins is globally very easy to configure. It can be easily set up and configured via its web interface. Before you can start creating your build job in Jenkins, you need to do a little configuration to ensure that your Jenkins server works smoothly in your particular environment. All these things I will show you in lab, or when I will do in practical. I will show you all these things how to configure and what need to be configured so that it will work smoothly in that particular environment. Now next one is the plugins. There are over thousands of plugins available in the Jenkins plugin repository. However, few of them are considered essential. Means there are n number of even I can say more than 1800 plugins available nowadays in Jenkins plugin repository. However, uh, not all are mandatory. Whatever your requirement according to you, uh, configure it. So, however, some of them can be considered as essential, which is very essential. Otherwise, it will give the error. So, plugin extend the functionality and capability of Jenkins to make it suitable for all user-specific needs. These plugins involve source code management, administration, platforms, user interface, building management, and much more. So they help Jenkins integrate with practically every tools in CICD toolchain. The simplest and most common way of installing plugin is through manage Jenkins. So when you log in the Jenkins page, so it will show you the manage Jenkins and then manage plugin. So I will show you definitely. Don't bother about that. I will do the practical for you. I will show you each and every steps whatever I am discussing with you. So nothing is panic. I will show you practical so that it will be crystal clear for you guys. And Jenkins is very important. Remember it. Jenkins is a very important. You always use if you want to become a DevOps engineer. So you will use that Jenkins. Okay, so where is the plugins and manage Jenkins? How I can see that? I will show you. Don't bother about that. Now next one is extensible. Jenkins is designed with extensibility in mind, both internally and with plugins. So Jenkins can be extended via its plugin architecture, providing nearly infinite possibility for what Jenkins can do. Extension is an annotation that allows Jenkins to discover classes, instantiate them, and register them in global list of implementation of their super types and interfaces. The next one is a distributed. Jenkins also provide this powerful feature of distributing build job, Jenkins distributed builds, across a large number of machines. Using Jenkins, we can set up a farm of build server to share the load or run the build job within the various environment. Jenkins can easily distribute work across multiple machines. Remember it. Jenkins can easily distribute works across multiple machines, helping drive builds, test, and deployment across multiple platforms faster. The master slab architecture of Jenkins is used for distributed build environment. When Jenkins distribute the work across a multiple machine, then he will work the master slab architecture. He use the master slab architecture. I will show you now. Okay. So let us let us know that Jenkins architecture, how it works. So here the Jenkins elements that put together in an interact. So what happened? Developers commit the changes to the source code and found in the uh, repository. Basically, repository means it's a remote repository. Okay, so whenever the developers commit the changes to the source code and push it into the remote repository, the Jenkins CI server checks the repository at regular interval and pull any newly available code is there or not. So when the developer first pushed the code into the remote repository, and Jenkins CI server checks the repository at regular interval, and when he found the new code available, then he pull it. Okay, and the build server builds the code into the into an executable file. In case of build fails, they send back to the developers. So feedback sent to the developers that it error occurs. Then Jenkins deploy the build application to test server. If the test fail, the developers are alerted. Again, if the test is fail, the developers are alerted. So if the code is error free, if everything is fine, no error found, so error free, the tested application is deployed onto the production. So this is the overall architecture of uh, Jenkins. So if the file can contains different code and be very large, requiring multiple builds, however, a single Jenkins server cannot handle multiple files and builds simultaneously. Remember it. Just before that, we have discussed about Jenkins is shared to the uh, multiple server or multiple server to build that one. So in this condition, Jenkins share that. Okay, so I mean single Jenkins server cannot handle multiple files to build simultaneously. For that, Jenkins distributed the architecture as necessary. Okay, so there is a Jenkins distributed architecture that is called master slab. Just discussed before. So master slab architecture, in that what Jenkins architecture is. Okay, so master slab. This is the master Jenkins master server. Okay, and Jenkins uses the master slab architecture to manage the distributed builds. The master and the slab communicate through TCP/IP. So master and this slab, they are communicate through TCP/IP. Remember it. Okay. So the main function of master server is Jenkins master server is it includes the build job. Additionally, it dispatch the builds to various slab for actual execution. Okay. It continuously monitor the slab. It also monitor the slab. The slab Jenkins slab servers are there. So Jenkins master also monitor the continuous monitor uh, to the slab, and also record the build result and present them. If required, master can also execute the build job directly. If it is required, then server or master can also execute the build job directly. Okay, so now the slab, what they do, it listen the request from the Jenkins master. So this Jenkins slab, it listen to the request from the Jenkins master. A slab can run on a variety of operating system. Additionally, it execute build job that the master dispatch. So whatever the master server has dispatched to slab, so slab, what happens? Slab build the job that dispatched by the master. Apart from that, Jenkins always pick up the next available shape to execute the build job. We can always configure the project to always run on the particular type of slab machine. So this is the overall architecture of Jenkins. We understood about the Jenkins. We have discussed the details about the Jenkins, and what is the importance of Jenkins, how it works, what is the architecture of Jenkins that we have discussed. We also discussed briefly about the continuous integration and other tools like Bamboo, Cruise Control, Team City. And we understood about the CICD pipeline as well. We also know about the important feature of Jenkins. We also know about the Jenkins architecture and distributed architecture. Just now we understood about that. So these are the overall concept of Jenkins. So we will discuss more about the Jenkins in next video. Then we will proceed for the demo on Jenkins. Thank you.